So peeps, another cheeky little video for you here. Now, controls in manufacturing is really important, and temperatures is one of them. Now, I've done a video on how to test PT100s, but how we're going to do this one on the live, and the nature, and on the machine itself. So we've got a water temperature, we've got a product temperature there. Now, what I'm going to do is give a quick recap on how to test them, and then a couple of ways how I do it. So we've got a product temperature on that top pipe, and a water down in that dark. So we've got the schematic for the PT100 here. Now this PT100, as we know, PT100s work on resistant value, and they've got this going straight back to our PLC. This is the plug and the lead that goes back to the PLC itself. So what first we're going to do is we're going to check our resistance of the PT100. You could also just take a direct temperature, but if you can't get to the product or what you're trying to control, you're going to want to test your PT100. So we can see we've got 3 leads on this PT100. So the two that connect into one side, we're going to want 0 ohms, and then between the two opposites, that's going to give you your temperature value. Now I've got a handy little app that I use. So what we can do on this app is we can either put in the temperature and see what ohms we should get back, or if we've got the ohms reading, we can see what temperature we should have from that ohms. So I've got 44.1, and I should be getting about 117.1 ohms. From PT100. I can take the old plug off. So a handy little tip is, if you ever take these plugs off and you're taking the leads off, if you forget what leads go to what pin, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have white and red leads. So if you check between the 2 pins and you've got 0 ohms, that's what you want, your 2 whites or your 2 reds going on. So you see there, and you want almost as close to 0 as you possibly can. So that, in this case, will be my 2 whites. Now I'm going across the 2 opposite ones. That's giving me my readout, and that's your 2 opposite sides of the PT100. So I haven't got 17.1, I've got 17.3. So if I go down to where I can put my ohms in now, that's showing me what kind of temperature reading I should be showing on the screen. And as we can see, I've got around about 0.5 difference. So what I can do now is I'm going to show you a way of checking from your lead to your feedback of your PLC. Some PT100s, they do actually allow for that 0.5, but I'm going to show you a little handy tip now. This is a PT100 simulator. So how this works is, you put your leads into the top plugs at the top, and that's going to give you a load of nomination of resistance according to the temperature that you can see on the dial. So, as we know, PT100, by its name, it starts off with 100 ohms, and that's your 0 point. Now, each nomination as you go up, as you can see by this linear graph, is a different temperature. So higher the resistance, the higher the temperature. Now, if you haven't got the free 400 quid that these come out for this little plastic box, I'll show you my little trick. Now, all I'll do is I'll keep a couple of 100 ohm resistors and a little chocky block I've cut out, keeping it safe. Now, as we said in that linear graph, 100 ohms is 0 degrees. So what I'll do is this just gives you a quick, it's not going to be precise, we're not making watches here. Well, we do want to be as close to it as we can. But with that 100 ohms, if I put the leads into that, it's going to show me 0 degrees, or what the reading out that the PLC thinks it is. And this is a quite quick, easy little tip for you, cheap as chips, and you can keep this in your toolbox. It's a known value. And once we've got this plugged in, we can see how close to the PLC input it thinks it actually is reading. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. So, again, as we know with the schematic, we want 2 sides of the PT100 going one side, and you've got one side going to the other. You do need to have, if you've got 3 leads, you do need 2 going to one side, or you're going to get stars. It needs to be seen that right across all 3 leads. While I wait for that to load up, we can actually see that you can put these onto temperature transmitters as well. Direct on, and that'll show you on your HMI to on your machine. So now, as we can see from our HMI, that's actually giving us about 0.6, 0.5 degree out, which we can now know that it's the PT100 that's fine. But it's actually the HMI that's got the indifference. So we could do a bit of fine tuning. So that's all you need, kids. Do your resistance checks on your PT100s. Check your product temperature if you can. But keep a couple of 100 ohms on in your toolbox. And if you've been watching, you're legend approved.